off the field. You're hitting the floor and you feel the pumping of the wheel. To find the glory, got to make your life shine. You gotta be working to get the woman and the wine. Kick the beat and get your hands in the air. Shuffle it deep cause it's an African affair. To Buffalo Park and our home at St. George's. We're bringing the silverware back on the gorgeous. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the everyday warrior. Never mind your liver, get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino Spot. Fantastic to have you on here on a Tuesday night, every single Tuesday, every bleeding Tuesday, forever onwards until the last day of my life. And, and it might be, you know, I'm just had my birthday yesterday. It was fantastic. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And it's been wonderful. My son came down from Cape Town as well. We had a nice family supper. It's been beautiful, And 1 year older, and we feel, you know, you just get to that point where you're thinking to yourself, hell's bells, man. It's just a fight to actually keep on the straight, you know, at this level. You just don't want to go down. You don't want to go down with your health. You just want to keep it at a normal level. And we've had a fantastic run of the ABBA show as well, which has been running at the Impetus Theatre, which was fantastic. Obviously, tell us where you are, what you're doing. There we go. Happy birthday. Thank you, Brendan Kelly. Brendan Kelly, our motor mouth. We've got to have an update from you again sometime, Brendan. I love hearing what's going on in the motorsport world. And Brendan's our motor mouth man. If you haven't checked his channels, please check him out. It's called Motor Mouth. And you can catch updates on what's going on. So yeah, we had an incredible run at the Impetus Theatre, which is very much like the Boardwalk Amphitheatre. It's actually shaped in the same way, same amount of people in there as well, but it's got obviously got a lot warmer, and it's got the roof on. It's fantastic, and we had such a nice run. It was full. So thank you to all of you who came. We are heading to East London next. So as you can see in the ticket type underneath here, CompuTicket, ABBA is coming to East London on the 30th and the 31st. So book through CompuTicket. I know there have been some hassles through CompuTicket. Just be patient and go for it. Thank you, Camilla Ellis. Happy birthday. Impetus is a great venue. Yes, it's 5 minutes from your home. I'm very pleased to hear that. It was absolutely amazing. The fact that the audience is so close to the band as well. The band is just incredible. I'm so proud of the group. The band was just super tight. The girls, huge harmonies. We're talking about 7-part harmonies in there for ABBA, and they did it all live. not one track involved, and just it just blew me away. It was amazing. So I had a fantastic time. And thank you all of you for supporting. And thank you for the birthday messages. Yes, Linda May, thank you. Happy birthday, bud. Looking forward to tonight with Carol Ann. Indeed, we've got Carol Ann Cash on tonight. Carol Ann Cash, Bisika. We're going to find out a little bit about her. Happy birthday, Ronald. Ronald, where are you? In Poland at the moment. In the Polska. That is, and back to New Zealand next week. They say 6 in New Zealand. They say 6 in Australia. That's how you know the difference. If you're speaking to a New Zealander, he says 6 and fish. And the Australians say 6 in fish. It's kind of like Durban and PE. All right, Ronald. Oh, lovely to hear that you're in there. I don't know what the hell you're doing there. What are you doing in Poland? Put it in the comments. Good grief. I don't know. There's so many Polish. I always think of Polish pilots. The Polish pilots in the war were just fearless. So ride the Spitfires against the Germans, unbelievable. I love history like that. I love that history. All right. So, like I said, tell us where you are and what you're doing and what you're drinking and what you're thinking and what you're thinking about. What does anything? You can tell us anything, or you can ask Carol Ann some questions as well, because we've got our guest coming in. Also, thank you to our sponsors. Fitch and Leeds. Fitch and Leeds is, I've got all the posters behind me here. And also to Grace, who's got, just given us some amazing food to eat as well. Grace from Fat Cats Catering. So thank you, Grace. We love you. Fat Cat, there we go. Fat Cats Catering. Always supplying Gino's spot with a little bit of food. Isn't that nice? And they've been fantastic. They've been so regular with their deliveries. Thank you so much, Grace. All right. So, yeah, like I said, thank you to Fitch and Leeds, who've been not only sponsoring our shows live, but also sponsoring my show here as well. The true legend behind the biscuit coming up. You're right, Rob Taylor. You're so right. Carol Ann is a force of nature, and we're going to find out exactly what it's all about. Grant Smith says, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Grant. Fantastic. I've had a blooming great time. I tell you what, I've been spoilt all over. All right, so we're not going to waste any more time, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get our guest right on and get on with the show. No more time wasting for us. Let's go.
Welcome to the show. Now it's your turn to shine. We're gonna have a like a chat tonight. Another good time.
You just get yourself comfortable there.
Good. Gino.
Fantastic to have you here, Carol
Thank
Ann.
you so much.
You know, I mean, we often see each other because our Biscuit and I are always in contact, and I know that you're good friends with my cousin Catherine.
Yes, your
and,
cousin Catherine.
Yes, and so you're always involved in the family. You're part of the family these days, I think, you know.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
but it's going to be nice to dig in a little bit to your personality.
I think it's going to be rather interesting, Gino. Maybe some things will be said that I might not feel too comfortable about, but it's okay. It's amongst friends.
Here we go. So some people say, there's Michelle Telford. Michelle
Hi,
Telford.
Michelle.
Hell's bells. Michelle and Mark were regulars on the show, especially during COVID. And so I always got a special place in my heart. Michelle, we used to run together when we were at junior school, because she was at Clarendon Park as well, you know.
Was she running away from you?
She
Gino?
was. At that, She
Yeah.
was a little bit old, 1 or 2 years old, much longer legs.
You quite like that. Hey?
Yeah. Of course. I proposed, but to Kinga. Oh, I see. So his wife, Ronald, has proposed, and that's why he's in Poland. Okay. He's propolanded, and he met in PE, and she moved to New Zealand, came to Poland to ask her dad for a hand. Oh, wow. Doing it the proper way. You're like an old-fashioned guy.
I do. I must say, my nephew's just recently got engaged, and
Yeah.
he did the whole traditional thing.
Really?
And I was so impressed.
Did Neil do it as well?
Sort of.
Sort of.
He did the perfect biscuit thing,
I really did.
Hid the ring in the golf clubs.
Oh,
Because he knew I would never go anywhere near the golf clubs. I'm not very good at it.
So it was a secret. It was a secret. But did he ask your dad and everything? Or
He did ask my dad. They had a few beers. Do you remember the old Warmer Gardens?
Yeah.
Remember we
Yes.
used to go and
Yes.
I know that he took my dad there for a few beers to ask for my hand in marriage.
Oh, man. So you got him drunk
Well,
first.
the problem was that my dad, he didn't know at the time, but my dad could probably take on 10 lagers, and Neil could take on 2 in that amount. So Neil was slurring definitely and nervous.
shame.
But I think my dad literally picked him up and gave him the biggest hug and said, "Oh,
lovely.
welcome to the family." So I think I'll
Thank
never.
God you take it off my hands.
They phoned me from the local tiki box
Oh, lovely.
to say, "Can you come and fetch us, please?" Because we didn't have cell phones, of
pissed.
course. Nearly 30 years, yeah.
Oh, man, I see Bruce Johnson online as well. Who's
Hi, Bruce. Very good friend of ours,
Oh,
a cycling friend. And
a cyclist.
yeah, a cyclist. So I'm the wobbler.
Oh,
And those are the real cyclists, you know.
Okay.
My bike
racing
sort of,
snakes.
Yeah, those are the racing snakes, and a very good friend. So
Oh, my word.
lovely to see Bruce here this
Denzel
evening.
Naidu from Spa, I see there as well. Fantastic to see you on, Denzel. We'll get to the comments just now. I know there's comments that come in a little bit. We have little sections where we go through the comments too.
Great,
We can see what's
fantastic.
happening.
I'm worried, but it's okay.
No,
I've
it's
got
fine.
this.
We can filter them and tell you to bugger off. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's fine. Great.
But I tell you what, Kashi, it's first of all, I know we got onto getting you on the show. I mean, I've wanted to have you on for ages.
I know.
We had Biscuit on, and he was great. But as we said, you know, who was it that said who drives? It was Rob
Yeah.
Rob Taylor. Who drives the biscuit?
Yeah, my
that-
steady Eddie.
You know, you are the rock here in this
Yeah.
this story here.
I usually lecture on a Monday, Tuesday
Yeah.
night, so
Oh,
that's
okay, that's
always
why,
why
that's
it's
why.
been a bit difficult to come in. But
problem.
my students are hopefully working very hard at their assignments and not watching the show. It would be great, so I can have really improved results.
Well, I
that would
hope
be
they're
fantastic.
watching the show.
I can see you. I can see if you're on. Go back to your assignment.
Go back to your assignments. But we were talking about the dancing because you involved with the dance stuff.
Yes.
And I believe you because you're doing a show. There's a show on. Is it
Yes.
Nikki that's doing it as well?
Yes, so just to give you a little bit of a background
yes.
story, believe it or not, I was a dancer. I don't look it now, but I did Royal Academy for 15 years. I'll
Okay.
let my daughter do the rest now.
Yes.
But I've always
Brilliant.
had such a passion for dance, and I love going to live theatre. So for me, I just any show that I can get my hands on, I go to.
Yeah.
And when an opportunity came up to assist with Dance Festival, of course, I went, how can I
Okay,
help?
put your hand up. Yes.
6 years later, I'm the secretary for Nelson Mandela Bay Dance Festival.
Okay.
And essentially what it is it's a festival of dance.
Yeah.
So irrespective of whether you are 5 years old and just going onto stage, or you're 13 and you just love dancing, or if you're more like you, Gino, who wants to take dancing seriously.
You know,
You know,
a lot of people
I
say,
can-
"Wow, you're such a great dancer."
I can
and
see
I'm
you
just
in your
like,
tights. I really
I'm just
can.
doing my job.
I've seen you do the evolution of dance.
You know, but that's the evolution of dance. Let me tell you, my dancing is not. It's just I love dance. I do love to dance when I'm at a party or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that always, and I love doing a few moves. But I've never been flexible,
Okay.
and so the dancing for me is just such a thing to watch because I know that in me the dance medley that's just people like drunk people dancing. That's what I'm doing. Everybody's drunk dance.
Yeah, no.
And so when I see real dancers, I
Yeah,
just
just love it.
appreciate it so much more.
No, that's good. And essentially what it is, it's for those of you who don't think you're very supple, but also for those who want to go on and take the stage as a career in the performing arts. So it could be, local, national, international. And we've had incredible dancers who've done so well over this is a 43-year-old festival
Yo.
that was founded 43 years ago
Wow.
by two late ladies.
Okay.
Hermione Ballinger
Yeah.
and Jennifer Abraham. And these two
Hermione.
ladies, Hermione.
And they're from Harry Potter.
And that's Nikki's mom, actually.
Oh no. Okay.
So that's her connection.
Barris, okay.
Yeah, no, Nikki
Okay,
Lovemore.
okay.
Nikki
Oh
Lovemore.
no. I was going
Our
to say.
chair lady, yes.
Yes. Okay. Nick is Nicky Lovemore.
So, yeah, we
Lovemore family, obviously,
Lovemore
a
family.
big PE family. That's
Yes,
all
absolutely.
and owned land here for days. I
Yes,
think.
they have.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Lovemore
So-
Park. Charlotte, but I've heard that Charlotte was Charles Lovemore.
Okay.
Charles Lovemore.
Oh, I
How's
didn't
that,
even
eh?
realize that. But you see, that's typical you. You pick up on stories like that.
Do I love that stuff?
No. So we're running at the Savoy Theatre from Monday to Saturday next week, 26th to the 31st.
All right.
And essentially you can come in 50 Rand per day.
50 Rand.
50 rands.
Does it
That's
does it
all.
run the whole day?
Runs mostly the whole day.
So that's why
mostly
it's a
from
festival.
lunchtime. It's
not
a
just a
festival.
show. It's like just goes.
A festival. And it's essentially,
it
we
is.
bring, thank you so much, we bring Debbie Rakusen down from Joburg, who's an internationally acclaimed adjudicator. So it's
okay.
done properly. So again, I say it's your opportunity to just perform, but if you want to take it a bit more seriously, there's the championship sides of it.
So
there's-
do you have quite a few, do they enter?
They
then?
enter. We've got
Okay.
20 studios,
Oh, wow.
Eastern and Southern Cape, close on 700 dancers, and
Wow.
about 1,600 pieces that will hit the stage between Monday and next Saturday night.
Jeez, that is unbelievable.
No,
I
it is
had no
unbelievable.
idea of the scale.
And any form, do you know, so that melody that you
Yeah.
done, hip hop,
Yeah,
ballet, jazz, modern, freestyle, tap. So essentially, it really is something for everybody, and it's grannies and grandpas and everyone else. But also, if you love the arts, then it's a perfect way. Where can you go for 50 rands entertainment in Port Elizabeth? No, you can't.
You can't.
So you can get your tickets at the door. We try and no cash,
Yeah.
just except me, of course.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then if you want to go to the gala evening, it's 120 rand a ticket.
Okay.
But that's like
What's the gala? So
the
how's-
gala is the choice of all the best that the adjudicator has chosen through the festival and
Okay.
all the championships as well. So it's almost like a showcase, and then with a prize giving too.
Okay.
So-
and they've got prizes then. Oh,
Yes,
well
major prizes, I must
Really?
tell you. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's not too late for you to enter.
Oh.
Because there's a prize that's one of the, I spoke earlier about an incredible guy who danced in, or people who've done well in the past.
Yeah.
And one of our local guys, Warren Adams, who now actually sits on the Tony panel in New York, his heart favors his dance teacher from years back, the late Gwen Mary Wells, and he's just put up a prize for 20,000 rand
Yo.
for a senior dancer,
Yeah.
and the adjudicator will choose, but he'll mentor this dancer from the States
Oh,
as well.
fantastic!
So that's just
'cause
one of
that's
the
just-
many.
I mean, that is that's a great thing to have as,
Yeah,
as a mentor, especially someone with so much experience.
Absolutely
that
right.
You know, it can change your whole path.
No, it can.
Okay.
So that's exactly it. And this festival has changed many paths.
Yeah.
Whether you become a teacher, whether you just continue to enjoy it, whether you take it to an international stage, this is what our festival's all about. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to
It's
talk
a
about my
absolute
passion.
pleasure. It's a pleasure. I mean, we've got to, all these in PE. We've got to have these things. Like it's totally the community is driven by different projects like this, and
I
dance.
agree.
And everybody that's got to do with dance should be involved in this.
Everyone
as well.
can dance.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't
it's
need
true.
tequila, like me.
I think I might help me a little. Help me a little.
Excellent.
But I'm so glad, and of course Gemma is your daughter.
Yes.
And she's down in Cape Town now.
That's
doing-
correct. So she's studying at LAMTA, the Leighton Alexander Musical Theatre Academy. It's a theatre at the Bay, Peter Turin's Theatre at the Bay.
Yes.
So Jem's been studying musical theatre there for the last, she's got 2 months to go.
Oh man.
And she's just...
And then she's finished.
And then she's finished, and she's just secured a professional job
Down
with
there?
Peter Turin, with My Fair Lady.
Oh my soul. Okay. Do you think that so she's going to stay down there?
No, I don't think she's going to be leaving there anytime soon. I think she
really?
loves coming home to friends and family.
Yes, yes.
But I think Cape Town is her place. And
And
I'm
how
really
does that
pleased
make
for-
you feel, Caroline?
You know, there's two sides of it, Gino, you understand?
Yes.
I think it's, you bring your kids up to soar, and then you wonder why they are. And then you kick yourself and you go, but this is exactly what you were hoping for.
I know.
So you say goodbye.
Exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, whale
But it's
tears
like,
in
oh
your
my
eyes.
God, oh
Don't
my
go. You're like standing at the airport with crying, and my family calls me the town crier because I cry when I'm happy and I cry when I'm sad. But I think
Lord.
at the same time it's like happy tears because I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go, she's living her dream.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's
of course.
okay. This is what
Yeah.
we were hoping for.
Yes.
So
You
you
built
know,
up to this, and
we
now
built
it's
it-
not so nice.
It just goes to dawn quickly. That's the
know.
that's the problem.
I know,
Yeah.
it's your kids, eh? It's your kids.
No.
All right, let's have a look at some of the comments there. Just keep those earphones down a little bit of the volume. I see Ronald. Thank God the same time frame as SA. Much different. So he's over in Poland.
Yeah.
Polska. It is right. It's on the same. What's it? The longitude. Eh?
It's longitude.
Yeah, Michelle Kelly. I see. Oh, a natural. Nikki says you're a natural.
Oh, thanks. Next.
Well, we actually we need to have you on at some stage as well, Nikki. And Roger Wenzel.
Oh, Roger,
Nice
that's
to-
my cousin.
Your
Hi,
cousin.
Rog.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
no, that's nice. My cousin's husband.
Have you
yeah.
got a big family?
We've got an enormous family, but you know, we like the Italians. We
Yeah,
also
Italian.
like everybody. We love everybody, and everybody.
Everybody.
The Cash family is just That's part of who I am, who we all are.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
about family.
Oh, good.
So,
That's
yeah.
so nice.
No,
That is
good.
nice. Michelle, looking forward to the show. You and Carol Hanstead. Good. I'm glad. You can
Hi.
ask her anything you like as well, Michelle. And Linda May, I see there. See,
There's Greg
Nikki
as well.
Snell.
Greg
Nikki's-
from the UK.
Oh, Greg
Greg
Everard.
Everard,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Of course, Greg. How's it, man? Greg, nice
Hi,
to see
Greg.
you. And say hello to Debbie. We miss her on the keys. Maos, of course, you know, I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and say, so tell me, Gino, don't you do clowning as well? Because I saw you doing clowning thing. They always mix us up, Maos. They do. Thank you for your birthday messages. Thank you, Philip Loebscher, also overseas as well in the States, and he always says hello. Valentina Knight.
Oh, hello, Valentina. Our
Valentina.
daughters study together.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Nice ad for Lamta
Oh,
indeed.
no.
And Valentina, she also danced there then.
Valentina's mum,
Yeah.
But we do, after a glass of wine, we do have a little bit
little
of a
dance
jiggle.
yourself.
We do. I think Lamta wants to direct us at some point. We're so good at what we do. Jokes.
Northfield, that must be
Can
Biscuit.
only be biscuit. Hi,
Is it?
biscuit.
Jempot is coming home for the gala evening. Fantastic.
Yes, she is.
Hendren Gemesace as well, saying, how's it?
Oh my goodness, all these lovely people I haven't spoken to for a while.
Oh,
That's
really?
great. Hello,
Here we go,
Hendren.
Hendren. And Ian Oliver, there was Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Of course, absolute legend. And on my cycling group, I hear all these news from you on the cycling group, you know.
Yeah.
Ian.
I'm the wobbler.
Yeah, and the wobbler, yes. Brian Smith, there we go. How's it, Brian? And Greg, Gemma has such supportive
Oh,
folks. I know that because, you know, you guys have really given everything there.
Yeah,
You know, it is your only child. There, you know.
I thought God would bless me with about 5 kids, I must say. But then I was quite relieved when I realized just how darn expensive these kids are.
You know.
So God's got me. He knows exactly
Well, I've
what
got
I
double,
needed.
you know. Bloody hell.
I
That
know.
cost a fortune.
You should have looked after that when you were younger, huh?
So was Jessica Corby saying hi. Is
Oh,
that related to Linda Corby? I wonder.
I wonder.
Jessica, are you related to Linda Corby? Because I know Linda Corby and Patrick. Love the vibe. Shelly Brewer.
Oh,
Shelley.
that's been a long time.
I know.
SABC days.
In our first ABBA show ever, actually, in 1991 with Mandy Girl.
Good.
She was there with our ABBA show, and she's got a marvelous voice, brilliant
I remember.
voice.
Shelley's
Absolutely
lovely.
love it. And Tula Buchner as
Oh,
well.
From Little Cherub, lovely. Hi, Anthula, one of our sponsors as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Great.
Antula. We love people like you. Laura Fernandez as well. Fernandez.
Oh, there's all my Hells Angels friends.
Oh, what's the Hells Angels?
I said I'd give them a ray gun impersonation,
Oh, really?
which is really, there's not much space here, but I'll try a little bit of a ray gun there.
Well, she says it's more woman than meets the eye. It's Cashy. That's true. That's true.
Oh, no.
I see Gym Boss, 5 o'clock. What does that mean? 5 a.m. Clockwork?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Hells Angels, and I'm sure they
Oh, with Helen Menzel.
with Helen Menzel.
Oh, wow.
And-
I've got to get Helen on as well.
No, you can try and convince her.
Oh, no, try it. I've been trying
Have
for,
you been
for 6
trying?
months.
Let's see if I've got to say. But we
Somebody-
meet up there at 5 o'clock every
Please,
morning.
guys, please message Helen and tell her she's got to come on the show. She can have a nice gin with me and have a lovely talk because she's an interesting lady.
Yeah, no, she's a powerhouse. That
Yeah,
thing.
properly,
a
properly.
proper power rocket. That one. No,
She's your cousin.
So yes,
This
that's
is
my cousin.
Colleen-
Hello, cuz.
Colleen Vence, the cash.
They always
Colleen
go and
Cash.
support Jem in Joburg, so I always appreciate that very much. Yeah.
But of course, she's got I was talking about Helen, she's
Yeah,
got the gym up the profiles.
Profile. So we
yeah.
followed her around for I don't know how many years. Even my mom did aerobics with her in the Miramar Center.
Okay.
So I'm loyal like that, you know.
She was in the Miramar
And
Center.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we, as angels, we call ourselves Hells Angels. 5 o'clock every morning.
Wow.
We're complaining like hell, but when we leave, it's like bright smiles.
Every
like this.
morning.
Couldn't do it without it. Monday to Wednesday, and then we have a cardio day, so you have to spin or be on the drums like you.
Okay.
And then back on Friday, and then we have to do something at least on the weekend again.
You should bring some drums in there.
I swear.
Yeah, they
She
do, they
drives
do.
us.
Good.
But it's the best time.
Grant
honestly.
Smith says, how's it? Nice seeing you on Gino's spot. Yes. How do you do ABBA without me? I know, Shay. I think of you every single time. I am the girl with golden hair. And then this picture of Shelly comes up in my mind. Thank you for the music. Tracy Watson Gill.
Oh,
there's
that's Ian's
absolutely
wife.
Olivia. Happy birthday. Thank you very much for that as well. And Tanya Slubbert.
Oh,
is that a
yes.
friend as well?
Hell's Angels.
Hell's Angels,
They
another
all
one,
here.
another Hell's Angels, fantastic. Oh, it's my cousin, Catherine. Hello, Catherine, nice
I know,
to see
there's
you.
my crazy friend.
Yes, I know.
She's got a bit of a foot injury at the moment, which is rather annoying.
Oh, no,
Because every time I
shame.
want to go for a joggle, that's what we call a run.
Oh, a jog.
Not a jog.
A joggle.
Yeah, because
You
wobble, and
wobble and
jog.
joggle.
Yeah. You know, it's all about finding a balance between life and health.
Yeah.
We're more towards the life than the health, but
Yes.
we at least try a bit of the health.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, you got to try. But we have to. When
Yeah.
as you get older, you got to do the health thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Keep
she's
yourself
having
in.
a laugh. There we go. So yeah, let's go back into the history. We'll leave the comments for a while. And we'll
No
go
problem.
back into your history and see where about
Diggy dig.
Carol and Cash came from. Were you born here?
I wasn't born here,
Where were you born?
so I've got a bit of an Afrikaans background, and every now and again when I've had a few, it comes out.
Is it Gosh?
Yeah.
With the car? Or
I grew up
with
in
the-
Rustenburg.
Rustenburg. Okay.
I was born in, not Bloemfontein. I say I was born in Bloemfontein, but my dad was the chief surveyor at the Hendrikwood Dam.
Oh,
It's now known as the Gerib.
yes.
And
yes.
so that dam wall is thanks to my dad and his team.
Okay.
So then when he finished his job there, he went to Rustenburg on the mines. And we had one English school and about 4 million Afrikaans schools. So I
So off
learned
you
the
went.
swear words first.
Okay.
I won't
So
repeat them here.
Little Carol Ann Cash, the English little girl, goes into Rustenburg
Goes
and
into Rustenburg.
Afrikaans school. Was that tough?
And it was Afrikaans people mostly, but I think it's great to be bilingual.
Grade
so
one?
I was there pre-primary even,
Pre-primary.
yeah.
Really?
So Rustenburg, and then my dad is from the Eastern Cape. My brothers went to Queen's College.
Oh,
My
very nice.
brothers and my husband Gray, everyone's a bit,
Okay. Yes,
no,
yes. Yeah.
a bit
Queens and
confused.
Greys.
Gray,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And my dad was a Dalian,
Oh, oh
Yeah.
my word.
So-
King Williamstown.
King Williamstown.
Well,
So we
Skonte.
came back to the Eastern Cape, all of us. My brothers
Okay.
love the Eastern Cape.
Did your dad just decide when you did work down
Retired,
there?
yeah.
Retired, yeah.
No, he eventually retired here.
So
and
he
I
loved
studied
PE
here.
then,
He
clearly.
loved PE. No, he loved the Eastern Cape. What is it about the smell of the Eastern Cape, people? It's like just going down to Sardinia. We've often gone down.
Yeah. yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
better than
At
going
sea.
for a sunset, but you can smell that sea as you
Yeah.
go over the. And
lovely.
the Eastern Cape has that.
Yeah.
Our coastal areas have that. Yeah.
And also going past the sewage place there on the way in as well. Also, it gives you a bit of a smell.
Yeah, that hasn't changed either.
Oh, no, so gee whiz, but now, what age were you when you came down to PE then?
I started studying here at,
Oh, okay.
well, now
UPE.
called NMU,
Yeah.
UPE. That would have been 1989.
Okay.
And yeah, since then, my
Were you at
first.
Rustenburg Girls
Rutten-
High?
Yeah, it was actually called Grenville High School.
Oh,
It was called GHS, but Grenville High School.
okay, okay.
Daddy didn't want Darling to go to any boarding school and be too far away from Dad. Seeing as
Okay.
though I was a lot Lomiki by 14 years.
So I'm thinking, 89. I knew somebody that went to Rustenburg's Marsha Meredith.
What does that name ring a bell?
Rustenburg Girls High School, RG.
Oh, you know what that
is
is?
another
That's
one?
Rustenburg High, yes.
Oh, okay, it's another one.
Rustenburg High, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's because, you know, it's funny how PE is always a small place, so you always compare it. But when you're looking at Joburg, it's like, no way. It's like saying to someone in London, do you know that person? They also live in London. We tend to do that in PE.
And often, it's like degrees of separation
Yeah.
is far smaller than they ever
It
used
is.
to be. Yeah,
It is,
no,
for sure.
It is.
And I know so many people as well, through the job as well. Okay, so what did you study then?
Okay, so what
Or
I studied first.
what did you enjoy at school first?
Interestingly enough, loved dancing. That's
Okay,
I spent a lot
already.
of my time, but hockey, played
Okay.
hockey first team
So
for
sporty.
a number of years. Also debating society,
Oh.
drum majorette, believe it or not,
Debating
drama.
society. I,
Yeah,
can
can you
I can
imagine?
just see Neil rolling his eyes. It's like he didn't know that.
She's not prepared to negotiate. I was like that at school as well.
No negotiations, I'm afraid.
No.
That's it. Oh, my soul.
Yeah, so that was at school,
Okay.
and then wasn't really sure what to study. Now
Yeah.
I had one brother in an advertising agency in Joburg,
Yeah.
and I just thought, well, that seemed divine. Spent a lot of
Yeah.
time with them, so I studied marketing and sales to start out with.
Okay,
But about
okay.
halfway through, I went, no, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah.
But you know, folks spend a lot of money,
They do,
and I
they
just
do.
saw through.
Did you? So well, that shows that you can, even if you weren't enjoying it, you could still cope with this stuff.
No.
Like you didn't have a hassle at school with
No,
studying.
not
or
with
anything.
studying. I'm a girl.
Quite focused.
No, quite focused.
Because Gemma's very focused.
No,
as well,
Jem
I
is
see.
very focused. There's no grey area,
Yeah.
black or white. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Very focused, very together.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the focus has always been, so there's no ADD here. It's just it's kind of like, but creativity you love.
Yeah, no, that
I know
part
that
of
from
it.
knowing
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no, that part I love. So,
Yeah.
and then I went on to study PR, which
Okay.
was a bit more, and that's obviously how I got involved with Algo FM.
Was this a tech?
This is a P
Tech,
Technicom.
okay, as well. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did that. Oh wow.
And then I did bits of pieces. I think my photography, I did there. I did interior design. Yeah,
Okay.
I like women like shoes. I
Okay.
do like studying and textbooks. It's a bit
Yes.
weird, but I do. I like the smell of a new textbook. I get very excited.
That's where you and I differ quite a lot. So I see a book and I just want to oh no, I'd rather stab my eyes out than have to read that. I mean, look, I can read books. Like, I mean, are you an avid reader?
I don't have much time for the stories, as Catherine will know, because she gives me books
Oh,
that
right.
just keep piling up, and she says, relax more, don't spend more,
Yes.
so much time with your textbooks. So they're still collecting dust. I get very excited about new textbooks. I do.
is it?
No,
And you
it's,
go
I
through
don't
it?
get much time to read.
Oh, no, because I mean, it's a sign of good focus, So obviously you can do these things. You can
Yeah.
go for it.
No,
It's
absolutely.
like and the other thing is obviously with your creative side. I mean, doing marketing that can always help.
Yeah,
with
no,
that
it
as
can
well.
always
But your
help.
dancing was clearly your
Yeah,
release.
yeah. And I think that, as I always tell my students when they get a bit concerned about, am I studying the right thing? How is it a loss?
Yeah.
Anything that you study will add something to your life.
Yeah.
And no one can take that away from you. So I think even if we learn the smallest thing, how to choose better jackets, for example.
Oh yes.
Yes. We'll take that with us.
Yes,
Okay?
no, sure.
You know,
I mean, unfortunately, I'm quite good at it.
fortunately.
It's my dance jacket. I
I
just
know.
thought
No, good. Thank you for dressing up for me.
It's
I
a pleasure.
appreciate
I
it.
always dress up
No,
for all my guests.
No. But yeah, the dancing has always
Okay.
been there. That's a passion. And
Right.
after I did my master's around sport, I
Yes.
thought I want to lean more towards my actual passion,
Yes.
which is in theatre. So I'm a hopeful candidate, as I mentioned to you. I want to be where your darling wife is.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Cash has a nice little roll on its tongue.
Oh,
So
yes.
if I
okay,
can
yes.
find the time to fit
So
it in.
PhD.
Yeah.
You're going to go for it.
I'm going to, if I can, I'm hoping that at the start of 2025 I'll have a little bit more time.
And it's I think at this stage in our lives as well, it's probably a good thing to do that as well, to get yourself involved in something like that if you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
if
you
you've got the time to do it.
No, I would love to. I would love to.
And working wise, obviously, so you're involved with the dance now at the moment.
Yes.
That's mainly what you're doing. But
Yes.
you were lecturing for a while. Are you still doing a little
Yeah.
lecturing? Or?
No, so I'm still lecturing. I think that maybe I take on a little bit too much, but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm with Vega Online. It's an online
Vega.
campus, so your son studied at Varsity College.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's part of the same group called the IIE,
Okay.
and they have different little bodies underneath them. So Rosebank College, Varsity College, Capsicum, a few of them. Vega is one of them, and Vega is very much more creative. So it looks more at the design elements, and I lecture strategic brand communication.
Oh.
So, and also postgrad space, I'm responsible as a team lead.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I also develop and I moderate as well for them.
All right.
So my lectures are usually, as I said, this time of the evening.
Yes. So
So
I got you off at least.
I've got you off, so it's quite nice to be able to be here and be with friends rather. Although there's nothing wrong, of course, with my students.
Yes.
I think the best thing for me is, the only thing about lecturing online is I never get to cap and gown them.
Yeah.
Because they're all over the world, because
Oh.
it's an online campus.
Of course. Okay.
So if they stream, I get quite emotional, as my brothers and everyone keep calling me the town crier. But you spend 3 years, 4 years, hopefully maximum with these students. When you're 6 years, you want to see them go over the
Yeah.
stage. You know, because they've taken
For
far
God's
too long.
sakes.
Please. But for me, it's such an emotional thing, because I appreciate them,
Yeah.
how much work they've put into
Yeah.
it. and I just cry. That whole stream, you'll find me crying. If I'm on stage for the local one, I just cry because they become like my kids.
Yeah.
And that's why God knew I'd have other children in my life that I'd need to look after.
Yes.
So
I get it.
he got it.
Okay, now, because now I'm going to go back again, because so you were at Tech.
Yes.
You studied basically when you came down from
Yes.
Gauteng.
Yes.
And your folks were still working here? Well, no, you retired here. you say,
They eventually retired here. I think I was halfway through my second year when they retired here.
Okay.
And then I struggled a bit in PE to find work.
Yeah.
So I had to head up to Joburg, and I'd applied everywhere, and I was going to start as a sales rep the day before the SABC phoned me to say there's an assistant PR position here at the SABC. Do you want it?
Yes.
Packed up all my stuff and came back and said, Joburg's not really my scene. And
Okay.
came back to PE, and of course that's where I met Biscuit.
Yeah, great.
The SABC, I know.
Marvelous.
I know.
And you know that because I met you when you were working with Algo FM.
That's right.
And that was probably about 95 or so, which would have been.
When were you with Eminent Child?
Eminent Child was 95, 96, 97, 98.
Okay, when were you performing down near,
Wow.
what is that, the Campanile? When were you performing there? Because that's the first time I saw you perform.
Campanile.
It's that, there was like a pub near the Campanile there, down near the trains there at the bottom.
Oh, like Tues.
Tues, that's right.
Oh,
it
my
was
soul.
Tues. I
Yes.
remember seeing you perform for the first time there.
Oh my, I don't know if that was with Eminent Child. I can't
I
remember.
don't know
played
who
there.
it was with, but I do remember seeing you perform there.
I think it was with Bruce King and
Good grief.
and or was it Joe and it might have been Joe and Brent. I think we were doing a three-piece
Yeah,
little
I can't remember how
Tananas.
many.
We used to play some Tanana stuff, and
Yeah.
that was lovely. And Choo-Choo's was quite a popular
It
joint.
was quite a
then, eh?
popular joint.
Yeah.
We were quite young then.
Yes,
So that's where I first met you.
that was probably 93.
Yeah.
92, 93.
And then
Okay.
95, 96 was more Algo FM because that's
Yes.
the year Bis and I got married.
Okay.
So I remember Eminent Child. I remember the whole Life Raft campaign and you
Yes.
guys getting involved
The
with
Life
that.
Raft campaign was great. That was, and we wrote a song for it. I still remember.
That's-
Caroline Keller was also involved.
That's
It must have
right.
been very confusing all the time. Caroline,
Yeah, no,
Caroline,
they get me very confused all the time. And Caroline, the same thing.
That's it.
And I'm not sure how, but you know, Caroline's the very petite blonde,
Yeah.
and I'm not that. But
I think Caroline Cash is a better DJ name. You know what I mean? It's like,
sometimes my students to go, Cash, and I said, no, I'm not a DJ or a rapper. You can call me Carol Ann. Thank you very much.
I mean, okay, so I know that Life Raft campaign was amazing. That was
Yeah.
also Elise Fish. Was
That's
involved.
also Elise Fish.
Oh, somebody tag Elise Fish if you
Yeah,
haven't
please.
already. Please do it because she was a great also a part of that
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
No, she
We used to
was.
put it up in the tower.
Yes, that's right.
Was that
the
the
Tower
tower?
Project as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
all for raise funds.
Wasn't that also Life Raft or was that different?
We had one on the lake and we had one in the tower. You know, we
Okay.
do anything to raise funds for
Yes,
charity.
yes,
We
yes.
do it every single day of our lives.
Yeah, it's true.
We
it's
really
true.
do. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Give you a bit of background.
Yeah, and now, so how did you meet Neil? I like that story.
Do you like that story?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, this is one of those stories where we met in the SABC pub.
Oh.
It was called the Elbow Joint. I wonder why. That was about as remarkable as we could come up with a name.
Yeah.
And I think we ended up calling ourselves Algo FM was the Culture Club. And that, Boy George, that made
Yes,
sense.
yes,
So
yes.
that was a bit better. And yes, my dad taught me how to drink beer. Of course he did.
Yes.
He was horrified when I first came back from varsity and asked for a beer, but he soon got over it and then started being quite proud.
Nice.
And I think I beat Neil at a drinking competition. I'm not even kidding you.
That doesn't say a lot for Neil's drinking ability.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been like a flip and
No.
a matchstick.
And
you know,
he looked at me, and you can just imagine, he thought, that's the girl for me.
Already. She just beat me in a drinking competition. That's the girl.
I don't think
for me.
Neil's parents would be proud.
I'm sure not.
No, but they smiled. Yeah,
Let's have a look
typical
at
me.
if there's any other comments coming through here. Colleen Cash says Emma and Jason say, how's Emma and Jason?
Those are my cousin's kids. Hello, Emma and Jason.
lovely.
Grade 11 and high school.
Where are they?
Going
Where-
into
where
grade
are-
12.
where
They're
are-
in Joburg.
Joburg side.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How's it to Joburg, Colleen?
Yeah.
Actually, Nikki Snell,
Selner.
Selner.
Yeah.
Here we go. Guess you're looking fab, she says. You are fab. Look at that. Leslie Turner, Leslie, that's
Oh, my goodness.
Catherine's sister.
Sister.
My
Hello,
cousin.
Les.
How's it, Les?
Yeah, we're going to be jolling with her in Stellenbosch at the end of September.
Libby's.
Oh, there's
You
Libby's.
go, Cashy. It's at Libby's. And Linda Harwood, of course. Linda
Oh,
Harwood,
hi,
the brain.
Libby.
Where, Linda often comes up. I think she's a little stick of dynamite.
Oh, no,
that
she
lady.
is. She's something else.
Oh,
she really
man.
is. And we love summers
Yes.
because we go and joggle. Remember,
Yes, we
because I don't know
joggle.
how to run.
Linda runs as well.
And then
yes.
we have a nice swim. That's our summer thing. We do
Oh,
that
is
for about 2 or 3 months of the year. So that's
Linda
starting
swims
soon.
as well.
We like to swim, yeah.
And Linda, you've got to get on my show sometime as well because she's an events lady.
That's right.
And she's done so many
really
projects.
has.
I'd love to hear some of her stories, especially the ones that have gone wrong. Linda, I want to hear all of those ones
yeah,
too.
there's some. I mean, I just think with eventing, and Linda will know, there's so many things that can go wrong.
I
Plan
know.
A to Z, and somehow
I know.
you won't have something under
And,
control.
and somehow well, it just comes right at the end. Somehow, if you know, it so seldom goes completely wrong. But you're like you're juggling a thousand balls.
I always tell my students that everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it does.
Yeah.
The difference is all you've got to do is make sure nobody notices
Yes,
that it has.
exactly.
It's that simple.
The confidence.
It's just
Yeah.
that. Fake it until you make it.
Yes.
Nobody needs to know what's happening in the background. Just make it work
Do it.
in the front ground.
Yeah.
It's that
As long as
simple.
it's working up front, it's
Absolutely right.
cool. It can be chaos backstage.
Sure, but no idea.
The show must go on. Tanya van der Berg. How's it, Tanya? Lovely to see you as
Part
well.
of the committee at the dance festival.
Oh,
as well.
also.
Nice to see
Excellent.
them all here.
I
Yeah.
recently tried kale, going back to gin soon. No, back to the gin you go. I finished mine. I'm going to have to get some
There's
more.
someone from Rustenburg as well, Michelle Pinard. Good heavens. Her,
Oh, wow.
Her mom
There we
used to
go.
teach me in primary school. So,
Oh, where
so
were you?
nice.
What primary school
It was Fields Primary School.
Fields
Fields
Primary.
Primary School. It was the only English primary school.
Oh, there we go. So at
Yes.
least primary school, you had the English.
Yes,
back
yeah,
in
mostly
the
the
English.
English, yeah.
100% Caroline. Any study adds value and discipline, says
Yeah.
Grev. Well, you guys are
Agree.
teachers, so you're always going to say that anyway, you know. We're the guru. That's Garth. I hope
Garth
you-
Sampson.
I hope you're well, buddy. Garth had a hell of an accident. He had a whole, what is it, a carport thing fall on top of him. Good Lord.
In that
man.
wind recently.
A little while
Yeah.
ago. Yes, it was actually. Maxine Ford, miss you, Caroline.
Oh,
Maxine.
Maxine, these are students of
Oh,
mine.
fantastic. Juliet
Oh,
Bradshaw.
Jules.
Jules and Karen, the Normans.
Normans.
Who's the Normans?
The ray gun.
Oh,
They
the
keep-
Reagan. You're going to do
You know, I'm
that.
doing a Reagan.
There we go. There's Helen online. Helen, I'm so
Oh.
glad you came on because you've got to come on my show too. We're going to have a gin together and have a good talk because you've got some stories, girl.
Yeah,
You've
I
got to be
know.
on here.
Helen's amazing.
yeah.
She's so supportive, and I mean, she just drives us every morning. So incredible
I always just see
inspiration.
energy when I see her. She's
No,
she's
absolutely.
fit as a fiddle. Heidi Sampson says, Heidi also dancing
Yes,
as well,
that's
of course.
also one of our committee members.
Yes.
So they've just been an incredible studio as well. We've got a number of women who contribute.
Yeah.
And I mean, powerhouses, all
Yeah.
of them.
Well,
And we
she's
can't do it without
Defying
them.
Gravity. That was.
That's right.
She Defying Gravity was one of the finalists in the when I
Nelson
was
Mandela Bay.
nominated for
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the NMB thing. Yes, that was fab.
Yeah, no
Juliet Bradshaw asked Cashy to break dance.
You see the ray gun.
See the ray
Because
guns.
I do it at Holes every morning. I did, Jules. I promise you there's no space
Man,
here.
the
So
ray gun.
I
Don't
just,
do that kangaroo and the.
no. And the yawn in the middle of the break dance. How's that, Jules?
Rona
Yariba!
Ann. There's Rona Ann.
It's my sister-in-law.
Oh wow, Jariba. What's Jariba?
Whenever I get excited about anything,
Oh,
Yariba!
Jariba.
See, they're all coming out now.
Is it? Hello, have you seen the beautiful moon? Yes, it's the blue moon once every 20 years. They say. It's a super moon, it's a blue moon, and it's a something else moon. I don't know, it's close moon or something. I don't know. It's amazing. And we did a cycle this morning at 5.
Oh, did you?
We watched the moon the whole way around. It was absolutely
And the
beautiful.
weather's been fantastic.
Yes.
You're a cyclist. I'm
Yes.
the wobbler.
Oh, I like that. I like the cycling.
Gino
You know,
gets lost often, just
I
so that I
do.
don't know if he
Don't
told you
follow
any of
me.
these stories,
Shh.
but
Ask
we
her.
we enter a 40 and a 60-kilometer event in Tsitsikamma. And Gino says, no, I'm not fit enough. I'm going to join you guys for the 40. So I said, fine, we'll see you in the front. You'll get there before us. Catherine and I will be at the back. We finish, and there's no sign of Gino. And we think, oh,
Dear.
poop and sticks. Where has he gone?
Fallen off his
Took
bike.
another turn, or didn't take a turn and ended
Yeah.
up on the 60. And he's done that about 3 times.
I have. I get lost every time. Don't follow me on a trail run. Don't follow me on a cycle. I just get lost every time, baby.
Every time.
Loving that you. Nikki says, no, Nikki Selner. Where do you know Nikki from?
Nikki is also Hells Angels. I
Oh, Hells
promise
Angels
you,
as well,
we're
okay.
a force. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Leslie.
Leslie Schroeder.
So family friend from Durban.
Durbs.
Yeah.
Love that.
All over.
How's Durban doing? You know, with all the Durban, I feel for you guys because you've had so much crap over
Yeah.
the last while.
Yeah.
That city has got to rebuild itself almost. You know, it's like
I feel very sorry for my brother. Every now and again, he sends me a video because he's in retail as well.
yeah.
And he obviously targets and etc.
Yeah.
He sends his videos of these trucks back to back. He can't get to where he needs to go. He's, it's just
Yeah.
that, and the infrastructure's so bad. The roads haven't been fixed in forever.
Oh.
So they live in Pennington,
Okay.
so I feel for them
Yeah.
and hope to have them in the Eastern Cape soon.
And Linda May says, "Well done, Cash and Gina." Thank you, Linda. Lovely. It's okay. So you Algoa. Were you employed by Algoa?
So I was employed by Algoa. I was there for probably, in total, about close on 10 years, full time.
Do you enjoy it? It's quite a pressure environment.
It was a great environment to start out your career in. I think as a young woman who likes activity, I don't like sitting
Yes.
still. I have a bit of a problem with it.
Okay.
So for me, I think it was a great start, and it's of course where I met Neil, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm not a Joburg girl. I'm more of a Cape Town, but I'll leave that up to Jem. We like it here with our friends.
Yes.
So I think that
I mean the Algoa sort of the pressure
it's so
environment.
difficult.
You know?
Yeah, it was a pressured environment, and I must say I did love it.
Yeah.
But then I decided now it's time to start a family, and there's no ways if you're working an 11, 14-hour day that you could do
Okay,
that.
okay.
And then that took a bit longer than expected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Lots of fertility treatment over years.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm always
so
very
did you go
honest.
through that whole thing?
The
eh?
whole thing, 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. And Algoa FM at the time were really good to me because then they contracted me back.
Yeah.
So I could consult for them,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
lovely. So I spent like another 15 years with Algoa FM. So
But
overall,
I'm just getting back to that whole fertility thing because
Yeah.
it's just such a pressure for women who want to have children. And I don't know. I mean, maybe you can give some advice for people in the same situation at the moment, wanting to have kids, but
Yeah.
this whole thing, it's anxiety on anxiety on anxiety.
and everyone says if you just relax,
Yeah, please.
that for me is my worst.
Yeah.
And I think the grannies who always came to me, and I'd worked out a few things that I'm going to say depending on ages.
Yeah.
The grannies would, why haven't you got children yet, dear?
Yes.
So I said, oh, because I don't like sex. That seemed to stop the grannies. That seemed to stop the grannies.
And Neil's standing there in the background.
And that really did. So you learn to just try and block it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really is. It's costly. The medical aids don't cover it. I had to travel quite a bit
Yeah.
to Cape Town to see more specialists.
Yes.
So I mean, that's why Jem got her name. And if you look at the Latin and the French
The Jem.
description of it,
Yeah.
it's actually exactly right, and she's exactly that. So
Yeah.
I think we got 5 children all wrapped in one there because she's everything that I've
Yes.
ever wanted as a child. So
Yeah.
God actually made that happen. So
Sure. And how do you think how do you think it's affected your relationship with Gemma as well?
yeah, I think
I mean, it's the only child. Do you think it's the only child? There's always the only child story.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Maybe you mollycoddled too much when you did. How did you sort of
try and find a
navigate
balance.
that? Yeah.
So I like Time Magazine. It's one of the magazines I do like reading
Yeah.
online, and they did an incredible story about the benefits of a single child
Yeah. Okay.
and the disadvantages of a single child. And Time Magazine is really good at finding a balance with a good
Okay.
story.
Yeah.
So I love the way the journalists write. And yes, there's the pros and cons. Luckily, I've got a very big family, but they're quite a bit older than Jem. So it was difficult
For her to find peers.
for her to find
Yes.
peers, you know. So
Yeah.
she relied on her school friends, her dancing friends,
Yes.
her drama friends.
Because she's out there. I mean,
She's-
I know Gems, she's like, wow. You know?
She's out there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I love that.
And I think just like her friends used to come to us and say, "Oh, thank you so much for having us. It's so quiet in this house." Because they've got in, you know, families that 3 or 4
Yes,
kids, and
yeah.
so they're like, "Oh, so peaceful." And Jem would go to them because it's like
Wow,
wild
out there.
people throwing throwing
Like
food
my
at each
house.
other. Yeah.
Jeez.
So she used to go there for that. But I think she found what she needed out of it. And
Yeah.
I think what a young child like that has is maturity, because you're forced into speaking to and connecting with people who are older than you, but
Yes.
also then connecting with younger. So she's very mature on that level. I've never had to worry.
That's so right. It's so right. I met a young girl now when we were doing ABBA. She must have been, I don't know, 11 or 12. And, you know, you immediately, I think you can spot that, because when the kids talk to adults, they talk
Yeah.
in a different, they talk in an adult way.
And they do.
As a youngster of 11, you know, the girl came up to me and she was engaging me like an adult, you know,
Yeah.
and it's quite freaked out. So Jem's had that as well.
Yeah, she's a man.
You know, I suppose the disadvantages could be that you're you know, like peers, you know, not having a lot of things. As long as you've got family and friends, you've got to try
Absolutely.
and put that together.
That's
all the
what we
time.
did a lot, you know. And I mean,
Yeah,
you'll remember with our kids
Yes.
that spent a lot of time
Absolutely,
together.
yeah.
So I think that's essentially what you've just.
And she was
gotta
always
do.
involved in school. No,
Yeah, oh no, she didn't sleep at school. I mean, Pearson never slept. Clarendon didn't sleep.
Yeah. I remember seeing her on stage at Clarendon and out there on her own doing the stuff. It's the confidence that it must build. you
And
know.
she's a lot quieter in person. She's
Yes.
more reserved in person, but it's
Definitely.
amazing when that spotlight goes on. It's like
Yeah.
just with me, I'm like this, whether I've got a spotlight on me or not.
You are.
You too.
You are. But you know, I sense, I don't know, like from the outside looking in, you've always been very strong for me. Like you know what you want. You don't take crap. So when I mean, you know, if I say something or I think and you don't agree with it, you'll come out straight away and you'll do it. Would that be an accurate description?
I think it would be accurate. I think the older I've got, I've possibly got a little bit more, okay, someone else has a perspective, let me give them a chance.
Okay, oh, thanks. Thank you for that.
No jokes. I think that I'm not a confrontational person, so I might tell you that I disagree with you,
Yeah.
but I'll choose my tone in such a
Yes,
way
yes.
that you'll actually start believing
Yes.
that my point of view is actually great. So
Yes.
I use my words in such
You're
a way.
manipulative bitch.
Yes, I can be, but it's like it's almost what I call the hamburger style. I think when I teach and when I lecture, it's all about, well, we know the juicy bits are in the center,
Yeah.
but you've got to start somewhere. So on the outside, it's always about telling them how well they've done and
Yeah.
point out like the really good things about their assignment or about their exam,
Yeah.
and then get into the juicy stuff. Yes, you screwed up here. Don't forget your referencing and your whatever, the
Yes,
juice,
yes,
because
yes.
that's the part that they can really use
Yeah. Yeah.
to grow
Yeah.
and to add elements to make it tastier.
Yeah.
It's called the hamburger, and well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I call it the
Making me
hamburger.
hungry just talking about it.
And then the bottom levels are keep at it. So it's about you can do it. I have faith in you. So I call it the hamburger style, and I just generally my approach is that I like motivating. I try and
So
make
motivate
it
and then get the juice.
get the juice. I'm not, as I say, I'm not, amazingly enough, I'm not very confrontational.
Yeah.
You have to push me really hard for when I really lose it,
Yeah.
and then
And you do.
yeah, I drop
Did you
off
get it?
keys for sponsored vehicles and things like that. And
Yes, yeah, they get the mood in with people. That's it. You get to a point and then that's it. Huh?
that's it. Yeah. Then I
Myself.
can't. Then it's like you know when you see red, it really does happen.
There we
like
go.
that.
Linda May says the little Gabby. That's exactly who I was talking about. It's her little Gabby that I spoke to, and I was really impressed with the way she spoke to us.
No,
you know?
that doesn't
and
surprise
she
me.
seems very focused, and she's a little drummer. I think she's a drummer, so I think she's gonna. I hope that she's gonna
That doesn't
continue.
surprise me.
You know, a show like that, like you're doing with dance, whether it be dance or whether it be the music or that can change a child's life.
Exactly. And I think that's so much that I've seen on stage for all these years. Now, yes, I've only been involved for 6 years, But I remember going to the Opera House stage, going to go and watch that.
You
Like,
remember
I
that?
used to go and camp there,
Yeah.
literally. And some of the teachers tease me still to this day.
Yeah.
So, have you got your tent out? Because, and I used to sit there with my little program, and I used to give the dancers marks.
Okay.
Just because I was so, I always wanted
Loved
to
it.
be a prima ballerina. I
Yeah.
loved it. And I knew I'd never be, but
Yeah.
I've always had a passion for it. So,
Yeah.
it's lovely that Gem ended up, but it's
Yeah.
musical theatre, it's singing, acting, and dancing. But for me to see her up there, because it was my passion, but she from yay high decided
Yes.
all on her own that this is exactly what she wanted to do. So
I'm glad, because you can almost live vicariously through that as well,
Yeah,
in a
you
way,
can.
because you've got your life, and you enjoy what you do, and you've got there's always something. You're always doing something. You're always busy with something. I've always noticed that.
Yeah.
You don't like to, like you say, you don't
no,
like to sit still.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. And any mentors along the way, people that have influenced your life. Did you have any of those moments when you saw something, or you like little Gabby, or saw something, and then you moved in that direction?
Well, I think I first and foremost have to say that and of course they would be family members, but Neil for me is an example. I call him my steady Eddie.
Yeah.
Because he's just so consistent. He's
Yes.
such a nice guy.
Never
And
loses it.
Never loses it. I can be temperamental
Yeah.
at home with my closest family. So the fact that's sort of an inspiration to me. I'm reminded all the time.
Yeah.
And Jem is my moral compass. So as I say, there's no sort of grey
Oh,
area.
she's on the
Very black
on the,
and
on the shoulder.
white. Without even saying something to me, I just know. So how would Jem handle this?
Okay.
So definitely that. And I mean, everybody's got their pressures in that. And I learn something new from someone every single day, whether it be a student, whether it even be about your dress style and your jacket, whether it, So
Yeah,
for me, I see everybody that I can learn something from, because often students will come to me and think I know everything, and I have the answers to everything. Hell no, I don't.
Yeah,
I think it's important to just say that you actually don't. We're
The
human.
lecturer
and
is
it's,
like, oh, of course she knows.
and so, but I'm hell bent on finding out.
Yes.
So I think I've got a very curious mind.
Okay.
So I think anybody, and I look at what people have written and what they've discovered and what they can do from a technology point of view, from a music point of view, just toe shoes these days have transformed so. It's like a shaft under your foot, and you wrap over. It's not like they used to be at all. And there's all kinds of bits and pieces. So I just think there's so much inspiration in the world today, quite honestly, and we should be using it more. And I think other inspirations to me are anybody who's kind.
Yes.
Because we've lost that.
Yes.
Somewhere along the line.
You're right. It's the online thing. It's social media is just so harsh.
Harsh.
It's
And there's so many
harsh.
bullies out there. It freaks me out completely. Industry is just generally full of it. And I think also a big thing for me, I'm an animal lover.
Oh yes.
So I've deleted anybody who's got anything to do with I've unfriended you all.
Yes.
Anything that I
danger
just
to animals.
any danger to animals. Now you know why we're not friends anymore.
Oh, there we go. I just saw a couple of comments come up there as well. Let's have a quick squiz. That's Reese Liebenberg, all the way from Cape Town. Hi, Reese. Nice to see you on the show. My word. Say hi to Neil, says Garth Sampson. That's Garth.
Wow. Simon Little, that's my but's friend.
Oh,
He's also
wow.
in the UK.
Lynn Ward says hi there. Simon Little says so nice to watch this kid. Oh, there we go. He's in UK, you say?
Yeah.
In the UK. Lovely. Denise Scott Dollar.
Hell's Angel.
Also, Hell's Angels. Love
Yeah.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
Yes, there we
So
go.
many
Hell's Angels.
Owls.
Helen's Angels. I like that.
This morning I had a bit of a song, Barracuda.
Oh,
that
love
keeps
that.
us going.
Oh,
That
love
gets us
it.
going at 5 o'clock in the morning.
How's that lady's voice? Eh?
Yeah.
That's Ann Wilson.
I
Yeah,
can't
she's
even
good.
You do it?
No, she's
You do
good.
it.
No, I don't even.
Can't you do it?
She's,
can't sing.
she's just got such. If you haven't heard that song for a while, play it. It's
Yeah.
insane. Olga Williams. Hello, Olga. You're also a beautiful person as well.
Many years back, Olga and I worked
Did you work?
together. Yeah,
What
when
did
Olga was
what
at Vodacom.
Can you remember any projects?
Yeah, we did so many, Olga. It was mostly sporting.
Okay.
We were very involved.
Olga's
Springbok
always involved
rugby
with,
side.
with Annie Gerber as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
She's-
So we did very much on the sporting side. Vodacom was very involved in those years.
Okay.
So yeah.
Any stories about functions and things, especially ones that have gone wrong? Janelle, how's it, Janelle? Nice to see you.
Well, often when you've come to do photo shoots and worn your scrum cap backwards, that was always a laugh.
Yes.
I've got to be very careful of names that I mentioned, but we've had after a Rugby World Cup have had a Springbok coach
Yeah.
many moons ago
Yeah.
who couldn't go on stage for
just too
certain
pissed.
reasons.
Oh my
So I
God.
won't mention names. It's a live show.
Yeah.
And there have been many, because I'm 54, or should I say 34 plus VAT,
Yeah.
there are many coaches that there could have been.
Yes, yes.
So I remember that was a bit of a faux pas. My-
Dis geen joke.
and it was a black tie function, and this
Oh,
chap
my
arrived in his
soul.
jeans. That was a bit of a problem. So
Wow.
Neil had to suddenly be the MC.
So
Thank God.
Neil was MC.
Neil saved me that night.
You're saved. Oh, there we go. Saved the day.
Saved the day.
There is a rugby coach coming on the stage. Hey, that must have been terrifying.
As an events planner, that was, very
Was
terrifying.
he quite keen to go on stage as well?
Far too cute. I'll whisper to you later who that was.
Oh my word! There we go. Charlene Shooter for Carol and my first PR job.
Oh, there's Charlene. Hello.
And
Yeah.
learned a great amount of valuable lessons from her. If you know anybody that knows Carol Ann, please tag them in the comments as well. She split her pants. When was that? It says Denise
Oh
Darlow.
gosh. Okay.
Tell me
so-
that story.
Yeah, we do some crazy things as Hells Angels, and
Oh.
end of every year we have an end of year party.
Yes.
And we all say the tequila's got no calories. You see, so of course we
It's
drink tequila.
No calories.
And I think we were at Charlotte Running Club, if I'm not mistaken. Diddy, she can always help
Italia
me.
Club.
Sherbet, and you know, whenever for some reason when you have tequila, you've always got to do the twist.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were all looking good. It was probably our second challenge, and Helen had got it really right this time. And I think I was probably 10 kilograms lighter than this, but I was probably wearing pants where I should have been 20 kilograms lighter. And of course, as I went down, because I can do the splits with my left leg still
Oh, my
after
word.
all these years.
Oh, jeez.
I can't do it with my right leg. I know that all my friends will say the second they can see me starting to split, they go, Kashi, left leg, so that I remember, because I actually will seriously hurt something. And I got up, and of course everybody was laughing at me because I had this lovely split right up my pants. And of course there are photographs to prove it, but Diddy, not right now. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's she says, what a chaotic event under the Human
Oh,
Bridge.
yes.
Wait, what? Tell me about that. Come on,
Oh,
tell me.
biscuits.
The Human Bridge is a great venue when the weather's good.
Oh, grief. So Gemma's 3 months old.
Yeah. Oh, my soul. Okay.
I booked my mum and dad into City Lodge, which
Yeah,
is right
next
there,
door.
because I was still breastfeeding,
Oh, and they had to take the baby.
and they had to take the baby, which
Eish.
is a bit of a nightmare. 800 gynecologists
Oh.
under Humid Bridge.
Well, at least they're gynecologists for the babies.
They only know how to deliver. I don't
deliver
know
them.
what they do. To where I need Johan Beek as the pediatrician there, rather. So I booked them into City Lodge just so that I could be quite close, and it was like running up between. Jem didn't take too well to her mother's boobs not being
Yes,
close by.
Close by.
And we had a bit of a disaster. We had full moon the night before.
Oh, that's the tide.
The high tides brought
Into
the
the-
seas up, and it was
does.
under the Humid Bridge, and we had like a Cuban thing. The stages were washed away, the equipment, it was just a nightmare. But
Oh.
luckily, I was a clever PR. Charlene will remember the kind of things that I've taught her. A sundry amount,
Yeah.
because I had to get some graders in. They were
Yes.
like 5,000 Rand an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Luckily, my budget was sundries 10% of the budget, which covered
Yo.
that cost. My client was so proud of me, because these days clients won't just go, well, I'm sorry, you didn't identify that as a risk.
Yes, of course. They'll make you
I
pay.
didn't, nah, I checked the tides, I checked the moon, I
Yo.
checked the... But yeah, we managed to get it sorted. We didn't sleep that night because it
sure.
was the night before.
Because waves coming in
And
are
waves
quite
coming in.
hard to stop.
Oh, and then I got into trouble with the cops lots when I was
Oh, is
younger.
it?
But
you
yeah,
ever
that's
been to
for-
jail?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
I didn't stay there for very long. That's the next story. That's
You won't believe how many people I've had on the show that have been to jail.
but you never imagined me, Shirley.
No, oh, it's classic. High five.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
man.
Yeah,
You've been
I'll
to
tell you
jail.
about that just now.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we've
Was it noise related?
no. Interestingly enough, students, you
Yes.
know, I was part of the Black Sash. I don't know if
Yes.
you've ever
Oh.
Martha Ann
Wow.
Finnemore.
Yes, yes.
And it's all
Yes.
about equal rights
Of
for
course.
everyone. And we had a quiet protest
Okay.
and wore our little black sash on the stairs of the auditorium at NMU.
Oh, wow.
And we were taken away.
And arrested. Oh,
We
my
weren't
goodness.
actually put
Just
in the
put in,
chookie. I think they were just to scare us to. We were
Yes.
being very peaceful, so I wasn't
know.
too sure. But
What
it's a
they were
lovely
gonna-
story to tell my grandchildren one
You were
day.
in the jail cells. Oh, God, I love that. There we go. Caroline says, Kesh, you remember I promised at the end to do with the super moon.
Okay.
Go, hills, angels, go. Oh, you got something you're going to do. So there we go. We'll see what's coming later.
Hells bells.
Oh, my word. There we go. Trolley races.
Oh, good heavens.
What's trolley races?
I don't know why we still think we can fit in trolleys, Catherine and I.
Do you get into trolley?
You know
with
what? I like an adventure. I just
Yeah.
think that age is but a number, Gino.
that? Yes.
I think as long as you're not silly and,
Yeah.
you know, drinking and driving is just stupid. So hence
Yeah.
why we use trolleys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
You know, that's just the idea. So poor Johan and Neil always just have to go with us. But
Yes.
Catherine and I like pushing each other in trolleys when we're in strange places and getting into them together. It's a bizarre thing. She's my crazy friend. What can I say?
And Natalie Leclerc says Caroline's one of the kindest people I've ever met. And I'd second that. Always,
thank
always
you.
heart first.
Natalie.
I absolutely get that.
Yeah, Natalie
I
is
get it.
also a motorsports fanatic.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And she's incredible. She did her master's with me as well.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
it's
sure
lovely.
Brendan Kelly knows her then
Yeah.
as well,
No,
probably.
it's lovely to have her here.
Does she
Hi,
race?
Natalie. She'd love to, I think, but she
Oh.
knows everything about Formula One you could ever imagine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I
she's-
love Formula One too.
I think you need to get her in too.
Yes,
She's
got a bit
very
of
interesting.
F1.
And she's just done her PhD too, so
Oh, wow.
it's
Okay.
a nice
Cool,
one. Yeah.
cool. Well, I tell you what, we're going to get into what we'd call the getting to know you section now, where we ask you a couple of things about your, it gets into your personality a little bit. So let's do this. Do it. Do
Getting
it.
to know you, getting to know all about you.
All right. The something. I know you've done something particularly spontaneous that you've done, or irresponsible that you've done.
Spontaneous or irresponsible. Okay, there's been a few of those.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I've got to remember that there might actually also be students online,
That's okay.
which is really concerning.
We're all humans.
No, we're all humans. So I think that there's some amazing things that in radio that you can do that you ordinarily couldn't do.
Yes.
And although we were sponsors of many concerts,
Yes.
big concerts we were particularly connected
Yes,
to,
yes.
we
Attie van Wyk and that
yeah,
lot,
we
eh?
never got invited to meet any of the artists. So it was my life's
Ambition.
ambition to make sure.
The drive to get into the VIP
So I
area.
can't tell you how many security guards at the time in my life have actually escorted me out, but I've got it right a few times too.
Excellent.
So I
Confidence.
think, yeah,
The confidence.
I just walked in
Yeah,
as if I owned the
VIP.
place, and
Yeah.
I've got away with it sometimes.
Do you know who I am?
So I think that was probably quite irresponsible, considering I was the PR for the radio station.
But you could have got into.
So I think those
Who
are.
did you meet? Who was your favourite?
So we went at one point with Peter Stuyvesant. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
You're not allowed to promote them anymore, no, but the
No,
commercial
no,
mention is
no,
not
no, that's
the
fine.
whole tobacco thing.
No, we've got no rules here. We don't worry
Yeah,
about
and I forced myself backstage to Def Leppard.
that. Oh, wow. Gee whiz.
And yeah, I
Did you
met
meet them?
Yeah, I met two of them anyway. So
Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
I've done that. And then some of the local guys, Duran Duran, when they played at
wow.
St George's.
Simon Le Bon.
Yeah, Simon Le Bon, I met him.
Oh, Philip
And
is
I
gonna
gave
be
him a
very
bit of a
jealous.
hard time because he wasn't singing any of the favourite songs, you know, none of the originals. So I was a bit
Yes,
disappointed. It
yes.
was all his new stuff.
Yes.
So I thought I'd just tell him that in a nice way, of course, like it felt like a
Yes.
hamburger.
Yes.
I just thought I'd tell him in a nice way that could you please sing like some
Sing, yeah.
songs that we'd
Please,
recognise.
please tell me now.
Save a prayer.
Yeah, save a prayer for me now.
Oh, no.
Hey, that was our era as well.
I know,
'Cause
it
if you were
was.
89 matric,
Exactly.
what a beautiful time.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that was one. And then do you remember what was that one at Westbourne Road? I always called them Brutal Bush, Savage Garden.
Savage Garden,
Brutal
yes,
Bush.
yes.
We call-
Brutal Bush.
So I went backstage there and I met them.
Okay, wow.
And I met
Australians.
Roxette in the studio, so that wasn't, And I've really tried to force my
Roxette.
way there, so I don't think that might have been very good for our image
That was
or anything.
okay.
But
All right.
I thought take advantage.
Well, biggest risk that you've ever taken? Like life risk, business risk?
Business life risk. I think when I decided to leave I'll Go FM and start my little family, which I think was, I thought wouldn't be take as long.
Yeah.
It was quite a big risk to take because I wasn't guaranteed if that consultancy would work.
Yes.
I didn't realize it would 8 years.
Yes.
So I was pleased that I'll Go FM took me on at the time as a consultant
Okay,
then.
as
But that
well.
was probably the biggest risk because I think it's really scary to take a big risk like that when you're not sure when your next bill's going, when you can pay your next
For sure.
bill.
It's a brave thing. You know, Philippa did that as well with the kids. And it is a brave thing. It's like you literally cut yourself off. You chop yourself off the legs. That's it. You're now starting again. And it's because of your child, though.
No, absolutely.
So it's good. There's lots of virtues to it,
Yeah.
obviously.
And I think I could pick up Jem from school. I could take her to dancing, drama, whatever. So I can't get that back. So it was a risk, but it was a benefit.
Yeah.
So, I think we've reaped the benefits from
But
that.
also after trying so many years as well.
You
that's,
wanted
of
to
course,
be there.
yes.
Yeah, good.
And I see Nikki Lovemore saying there she says, does take our theatre etiquette seriously. Should be known to physically enforce our rules. I go to war with her.
Yeah.
Physically enforce them.
Well,
Will you get yourself out of here?
theatre rules with the taking of your own photographs.
Yeah.
Like for me, you protect your choreography firstly.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. It's part of the reason why I'm doing my PhD.
Okay.
Is protection of original work in theatre.
Okay.
Because that's a big thing for me.
Yeah. And it's such a problem now.
It's such a problem with social media because
Yes.
you can literally go onto YouTube here and you can do my ray gun dance
Yeah. Yeah.
and call it your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not my own, it's Ray Gun's
Yeah,
dance.
it's Ray Gun's dance,
Okay,
it's
so
true.
how can I call it my own? So
Okay.
I feel very strongly about that. So when I was in the theatre taking over for someone because I wasn't in the office and I've got a mum there videoing this whole thing and we're going, there's a reason we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's firstly to protect the choreography because you don't want that ending up on someone who'd claim it as their own and it isn't. And secondly, people forget that flashes actually also distract the dancers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's unfair on the dancers
Yes,
as
yeah,
well
yeah.
because it might, the little ones who've never been on stage before, they might also stop and pose, oh, mommy's taking a picture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as much as it's a festival and, we want that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we've got professional photographers in
Okay.
because then they don't have their flashes and then you can at least purchase those photographs
Yes,
afterwards.
yeah.
So I gave the mom a bit of a hard time. She wanted to beat me up at
She
one
must
point.
have loved you, yes. Dear.
No, look.
I see one of the best lecturers I've ever had.
Oh, Gary.
Excellent,
How
Gary Blom.
lovely. Oh, Gary, I wonder where you are now.
Man.
Some of my favorite students, and they all just become like kids to me.
Yeah,
They're my
yeah.
kids.
Clearly you dive into whatever you do. You dive in like head first, 150%.
I get to know them. They're not a number. They
Yeah,
become one of my kids.
Oh, good. I love that. Okay, the most physically painful thing you've ever experienced.
When I do the splits with my right leg.
Oh, dear. Well, Carol and Keller also had an issue with the splits the one time as well. She also did the wrong way around
I
and
promise you. So
injured herself for
just remember
years.
now when we've had more tequila.
God,
Just
the right
remember,
way
Cassie,
around.
left leg first.
Lead with the left, man. Okay, the hardest you've ever worked.
Sure, the hardest I've ever worked was probably balancing my masters with my work, with having a 6-year-old,
Yo,
because I think you finish your daytime work at 6 o'clock,
yeah.
you bath, bed, etc., and eventually Neil is an early sleeper, luckily,
Yes,
so he's
yes,
in bed by 9, but then I'd tackle my books and
Yeah.
I'd have to write until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yo.
And then I'm getting up at 5 to go to Hells Angels because I've been doing that for 8 years.
Yo.
So I think that's probably the toughest
Yeah,
I've had to work.
Yo.
Yeah.
And I mean, because it's, that is tough.
Yeah, that is tough, yeah.
It's cumulative.
It is.
You're staying up late, getting up early, staying up late, eventually you just get to this point where you're, whoa.
Yeah,
you
no
just
wonder I
can't-
drink wine. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you enjoy your wine.
I enjoy my wine.
Ah, I
So I
like it.
said, if I could save all the dogs in the world,
Yeah.
plus travel abroad, watch back-to-back musicals,
Okay,
drink wine,
yes.
taste all the cuisine from all the different
Sounds like-
cultures.
What's
I
it?
think I'd be a
Jackie
happy-
Onassis. Yeah.
Great. That
It's got
sounds
$1 billion
exciting.
rand in the bank,
Yeah.
and you just go around. So you could do that.
That's what I could do.
You could get the money, just go to the shows.
Yeah.
Come on, it would be alright for like a couple of months, and then you'd be like, what can I do? I want to do a show. I want to do a thing.
And there will always be something new I could find.
Yeah,
Always.
I'm sure there will be something. The most nervous that you've ever been.
The most nervous I have ever been. I think it's when you are sitting down from an academic point of view, when you've got a panel in front of you,
Oof.
and they've got to decide whether or not you have received a qualification, because that's essentially how it works. You have a panel of 5, and they're professors, and they're etc. So I think it's really, in this kind of environment, I'm quite comfortable. I
Yeah.
have to speak online all the time. But I think when you've got that kind of level where you know they're judging your every move, I think that's probably when I've been most nervous.
Yeah.
Or when I've waited for about the 412 pregnancy tests that didn't work.
412.
I'm
I was going to say, geez, sweet loaded.
There were lots.
No, lots. Okay.
No, there were
yeah,
lots.
Of course, you're waiting for that result.
And I remember getting a Ballantine's bottle. I think it was Ballantine's, but if
Whiskey.
I'm not mistaken, whiskey with 2 glasses, and I kept it because I thought when I see that pregnancy test is positive, I'm going to wrap it for Biss, and I'll just put it on the bed
And
for
you'll
him
know.
to unwrap when he's ready, and I think he'll know. And I put a cigar in there too. So that took 8 years.
Oh,
So
my soul.
it was a good
Yo,
whiskey.
but the stress,
Yeah,
the stress
the
of
stress
that.
is
It must have been a tough time.
No, it was a tough time, but it was all worth it, Gene.
Because it all becomes like almost an obsession.
It really does. It really does.
Yo,
No.
and the money. Oh my God, the money.
No.
Yeah. Okay, your the most bogus rumor that you ever heard about yourself. You must have had those.
So it was a bit of an unfortunate situation, actually, and it ended up in the newspapers and online, which was rather disappointing. But just to give you the backstory, I organised a few events in East London as well. There was a big motor and outdoor adventure show, and I pitched with all the other East London agencies and PE, but because I did a lot of work for Go in East London, I think they gave me an opportunity, and I pitched successfully for it. At the time, I didn't know fertility treatment was going to work. So I was about 7 months pregnant when that event took place. I had a wonderful crew who supported me, but I fell really ill, and I was in hospital flat, like on my back for a while. We were worried about Jem. Obviously, I was only 7 months pregnant, and a journalist tried to get hold of me, and I, of course, didn't have my cell phone on.
Yes.
I couldn't tell everybody that I was in hospital. We didn't have social media as much as we do now. Neil didn't know who to phone, and then he wrote up a really bad story about how someone from East London wasn't employed, but this girl from PE and to date hasn't replied to any of my emails, and so he really he did a number on me. He did a number.
That's
on
not
me.
very cool. That's
No,
not.
no. So that was
That's a
bit
tough
of
one.
crappy rumor.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a toughie, and I'm all about reputation. So
course.
it was a
It's
tough
It's a
one.
bit of a knife in the heart.
Yeah, no, that was a toughie.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right. Just two more. You said 2 more questions
Of
before
course.
the end. Your plans for the future. So what do you get excited about?
Of course, what excites me is seeing Jem on stage.
Yes.
Of course,
The
it would
kids.
be like
Yes.
You
Chelsea or Enzo. Yeah.
Enzo. That's how. I've got a brother who, after 17 years, is coming back from the UAE, moving back to South Africa.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Him and his wife, after 17 years of finally coming back, shame he was hijacked many moons ago, and
Okay.
it just had such an impact.
Yes.
And they've had a lovely life in Dubai, but he says he's going to retire now,
Okay.
and all he wants is life back.
Like
his
your dad.
roots, like his
Eh,
dad.
like your dad.
And so they come back in November, so that's one of the
So
things I'm
PE,
looking
that, I
forward
love that it's special to you guys,
It's so special.
to your whole family.
Our whole
I
family.
mean, even he's been in Dubai for how many years, and it's retirement. Okay, it's PE.
Yeah. I think they're going to be in Cape Town for a bit, but they'll spend a lot of time here in PE with us and us there with them. So that's family, foreseeable future.
I love it.
Work-wise, definitely work on that PhD.
Yeah.
It's really what I want
Okay.
to do. I have to find time to do that in 2025
Okay.
because that's in the foreseeable future, and possibly take over the world.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. A career highlights, let's say, so
Yeah.
far.
I think that getting my master's has to be
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah.
And I think the most special thing for me, it was before we lost my mum. Don't cry, Caroline. Before we lost, before we lost my mum, she was sitting in the audience with my 6-year-old daughter and my husband when I was captain gowned. So I think what studies do, and Greg was right, you know, you can't lose anything from whatever you study, because what studying did is change the way I think about things.
Yeah.
I didn't run before I did my master's because I realized that whatever you put your mind to, this is your biggest muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you put your mind to, you're going to achieve that. And those academics right there did exactly that for me. Because I realized you can push yourself and you can do anything.
Yeah.
Then I started running a 5, a 10, a half marathon, a
So you
25.
didn't run at all?
Didn't run at
Because I know,
all.
I mean, she runs all the time and cycles all
Really
the time as
badly,
well.
but
yeah,
yeah.
but always there. That's the important part. To do it, to actually do it. Get off your ass and do it.
Yeah.
And you do that.
No, I do. We like adventures, Catherine and I,
Yeah.
and Linda and Katie. And I mean, over
Yes.
the years, we've done some incredible things. But I think that was a turning point for me. And that's why
Okay.
I will like that Strictly Come Dancing, the
Yeah.
local version. That's
Yes,
why I
you
did
did that too.
And
Yes.
I loved
Who was
that.
your dance partner?
It was Ryan Kashagan. He was
Okay.
the professional. And I loved that. So I just think that changed my perspective, Gino, because
Yeah.
I think we're too hard on ourselves, firstly. And we always tell our kids to be kind, but we don't actually practice it to
Yeah.
ourselves. So I think that changed so much for me, that's what drives me now. Was that the right thing? Was it the kindest thing?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing I tend to ask myself, and that then moves me forward. So that's my highlight, is essentially it's taught me, or it's given me, or it's
Yeah.
blessed me with the position to say, well, don't say you can't. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Just try.
There's no rules.
There's no
There's
rules.
no
What
bloody
the hell?
rules in this
Who's going to
place.
stop you anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just do it.
And I can't be anybody else because everybody else is taken.
And if you keep on putting it off, you're never going to do it.
Never gonna do
So
it.
your life is only this.
Exactly right.
Maybe because we're getting to 50.
Yeah.
We think to ourselves,
That's exactly
hell,
right.
hang on. If I want to do this thing, I better do it now.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be 80 and go, well,
Yeah.
I should have run a half marathon or got
Yes.
lost on a 60 kilometer. That
Exactly.
should have been a 40.
It's fun.
Have another gym.
Exactly.
You can,
Yes, do
so
it.
balance between life and health.
Oh, I love that. I love it. All right. I see there's 1 or 2 comments still coming through here. Let's have it. Lindy Kretzman saying, ooh, go see I miss you so much on campus.
Oh,
she says.
my colleagues.
There we
Oh,
go. Talita from Bake. Love seeing you here. Cashy's so amazing.
a
Thank
darling
you, Talita.
friend. A darling friend of mine.
Carol
Talita,
Ann
love
really
her.
has made us feel like family and so invested in our success, both in education and the I was reading
Our
around the camera here.
Our personal lives.
Yes, your personal life, the actual person, and not just a member of the class. You taught me so much. Oh, that's fantastic, man. And yeah, got to where he is today. That was lovely. Thank you, Gary. That's a
so-
fantastic what do you call it? Not an indictment, but the opposite of the indictment.
Yes.
On Carol Ann's personality. Joanne Cox, how nice to hear all your tales, Mildred.
Oh, thank you, Colleen.
There we go, Colleen and Mildred. I like the way you think. Fantastic. It's true. You got to be strong. You got to do what you need to do.
Just
I
put your
love it.
head down.
Yeah. That's
Just
it. That's it.
believe, you know.
Do it. Because you get hey, and if you cock up, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Get
matter.
up,
What's
start
gonna
again.
happen?
Yeah.
You write an article about you.
No, absolutely. And a bad one.
Yeah.
Or a
Right.
good one.
Doesn't matter. Hasn't affected you. Everybody knows you, will love you for who you are.
Thank
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. All right, so now we've got a competition before you go. We've got a competition now we're going to run because Carol has been such a fantastic guest as well. And all her friends are online too. So we've got a competition now where all your names that are in here, we're going to put you through a little milling machine. I think Enzo's busy doing it here. We've got Enzo on tech tonight.
Oh, thank you, Enzo. What a lovely looking boy you are.
Yes, he's done a fine
Go
job
on.
tonight. All right, so share that screen then, Enzo. Make sure it's shared and so we can see it. Because we're going to send we're going to pull the lever and then we put the giveaway tool in and we let it go.
Good.
So give it a spin and then
What
let
are
it
they
go.
winning?
There we go. They're winning a case of Fitch and Leeds given to us by our sponsors. It's going to be sent via Take-A-Lot, I think.
Oh, what a
send
pleasure.
it. And so Philip Lopes, dear, Philip won. Philip's won before. You're going to have to put another one. He's won within 90 days. And he gave his away to another lady because he's overseas. So we're going to have to get another one, yeah. Let's have a look and see. Who is it? It's going to be... Oh, Rob Taylor won. We haven't had so many that won so recently. Rob, we got Rob as well.
Lucky people,
I
clearly.
know. We got his good. There we go. There's a
Juliet
good
Bradshaw.
winner. Yeah.
She's
'Cause
a Hell's Angel.
and she hasn't won within 90 days. So, Julie, you are
I can take it with me.
Juliet, you're the one. You're the one. No, we're going to have to post it. I haven't got enough stock here. We're going to have to get new stock as well.
Okay.
It'll come to you. Wendy will get hold of you, Juliet, and we'll get your address and send it straight to you. But thank you so much. You can
Oh, it's been
play out
wonderful.
music now, Enzo. And thank you for joining us online. And next week, I'm hoping to have Sandy Coffee on next week to see.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
going to see if she can do it because she always has more depth. She goes into it deeper and a bit more serious than I do. I like to talk about the what she does. And Sandy's wonderful. She goes digs deep. She digs deep. But thank you so much, Caroline.
Pleasure. And I've got to do this for my
What
angel.
you going to do?
For the full moon.
For the Hell's Angels. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Grace from Fat Cats for the food as well. So many adventures. I agreed, Catherine. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of EE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino Shot!
Get to Gino spot.